Welcome to another edition of Fireside Financials. In this episode, we are talking about disability insurance and why it is so important for small business owners. So first and foremost, just a little primer on insurance. Insurance is there for things where it would be really hard for an individual to insure against that loss. So for example, home insurance, right? If your home is worth $300,000 and something major happened to it, it would be really hard for you to come up with $300,000 cash to rebuild that house. But what insurance does is it spreads the risk among a large group of people and therefore allows it to be more affordable for someone to be able to insure a high value thing such as a house, a car, or with disability insurance, your own ability to earn income. And because it's spread out across a larger group of people, it allows it to be more affordable. So just a little quick primer on what insurance is. So why is disability insurance so important for small business owners? Well, what disability insurance does is it protects against the loss of future income. And when you are your business, the business owner and the employee, you not working generally means you not being paid unless you have some source of some stream of income that continues to come in without your active work. So there's a word I'm looking for, passive income. So with disability insurance, there are two different kinds of disability insurance. There's short-term disability insurance, which is around anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 years. And then long-term disability, which lasts for usually around 5 years or more. And this is, again, so important for small business owners because if you aren't able to work and you aren't able to make income, what are you going to do? Again, where are you going to come up with the $3,000 a month, the $5,000 a month, the $10,000 a month that you earn? How would you replace that income? That's what disability insurance is for. So let me take a look at my notes. Some important factors to consider when getting disability insurance is, are you single and is your income the only one that you are getting, right? So if you have a partner, for example, and their income would be able to sustain the both of you if you lost your job, then the amount of disability insurance that you might need would be less than someone who is single or who is in a partnership, but they are the sole income earner. So it really is dependent on your situation and needs. But that's something that a good insurance agent would be able to help you with and think through and walk you through. So an example that's very close to home right now is I got COVID back in early November, and I've had in 2020, and I have had lingering symptoms ever since. So I'm at the point where as of today, I'm able to work about 6 hours looking at screens during the day, but I do need to take breaks every 60 to 90 minutes, 15-minute to 30-minute naps where I just close my eyes and the throbbing in my eyes and kind of the tingling in my brain will stop. It's weird. Luckily, it's getting better, but it's still there. And so I've been in touch with my disability insurance provider to say, hey, this is going on. In the first month, I was only able to work less than a half hour a day on the computer without immense eye strain and brain pain. So we've been in communication about starting a claim, and I've been putting all the paperwork together just in case I want to go through with that and see if they will honor the claim. Now, there are a lot of different components to disability insurance. I'll just go over a couple. So for example, my plan has a 6-month waiting period. It can be as short as 3 months, maybe even 1 month, although I think 3 months is the minimum, and up to a year and maybe more. But this is the period where if your claim is approved, that you would need to pay out of pocket before the disability insurance payments kicked in. So because I have a relatively large emergency fund where I'd be able to last for at least 6 months without any income, I chose a 6-month waiting period. So I'm actually, as of today, I think it's almost 6 months to the day that I got COVID. So my waiting period would then be over. And if I went through with it and it was approved, I would start getting payouts as of today or retroactively starting today. Another couple important parts are there are cost of living adjustments you could add on there. They're called riders. So every year with inflation, how much you were paid out would increase. So if you were disabled for your entire life, starting at age 30, if the income you received didn't go up according to inflation, that money would be worth a lot less when you were 60 versus 30. Another important one is whether it's own occupation or any occupation. So in my disability insurance, whatever it's called, contract, I chose own occupation. So what that means is if I can't do my specific job as defined in the agreement, then I can qualify for disability. Whereas if I chose any occupation, right, so I would be able to do work that wasn't on screens, for example, like working for the National Park Service. However, because I chose own occupation, I wouldn't need to go get a job that wasn't this one in order to make income because my disability insurance would kick in. Looking back at my notes, last thing, just an interesting statistic I saw. It was 1 in 7 people can expect to be disabled for over 5 years in their working lifetime, which is a much larger number than I thought, which is kind of wild. I had no idea it was that high. So, you always want to insure against the biggest risks in your life. This is usually your home, disability insurance with your income, or even your auto insurance. If you, for example, hit and injure a doctor and they aren't able to work for 5 years and that person's a hand surgeon and they make $500,000 a year, you could be on the hook for their lost income, $500,000 a year times the 5 years they can't work. So that's why insurance is really, really important. Now, unfortunately, it's often been pushed by salespeople who I won't say more often than not, but oftentimes may be motivated not just by what's in your best interest, but how they make the most money, which gives insurance bad rep. But the idea of insurance is a very good one. We just need the execution to be better. So that's a quick primer on disability insurance and why it's so important for self-employed people. Let me know what questions you have, put them in the comments, and I'm excited to hear from you. And let me know what other topics you would like me to cover in future Fireside Financial episodes.